Shut up!
Impossible!
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Main is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
Ugh. You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people
For it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that...
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in...
No task can be done without preparation. I just happen to note...
Oh, but instead of catch...
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch...
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The what?
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling.
What about...
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my...
Wow! What?
Ah, you're too kind.
So, that thing you were...
Hmm?
About how mercenaries only care about...
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro...
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so...
I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief...
But I see through it all. And
Dia...
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. This should be all of them. All right. Well,
Candace,
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
More speed. More speed. can put these to good use. Time to scout. I can put these to good use. More speed.
Candace is an expert at
You want to learn some Favonia's blade?
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty...
Well, Paimon thinks you're great.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Saito's here.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some
Oh,
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Do I? Huh. What gave it away.
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am. Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please, have mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there's one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of King Deshret will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have.
We understand. I'll tell you everything
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in King Deshret's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can...
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread the word about King Deshret's resurrection, and talked us into helping him. I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh?
Strike. You gotta...
Wait, I'm telling the truth. He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. It's just...
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secret. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his...
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu.
Smooth.
Okay.
If my suspicions are correct, this... Some time ago, people from the academia It strikes me now that...
Which means it's highly likely that the academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the rat... They were the ones who brought them here to...
Not the academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with...
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of... Regardless.
You're right.
Time to go. Let's leave the village and try to
Yes. Pack up and get ready to...
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the...
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone...
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced.
You were gone for ages! Hey, what's with this?
You never think things through before asking
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! Never mind. Paimon's got nothing. There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. Anyway, you plan to leave,
Yep. Enough with this side.
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with...
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village.
Yeah, you're all...
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do.
Really? Paimon does...
To be honest, we aren't really a team. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to...
Huh? Right here?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But...
What is that?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single...
You mean, some of...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily... By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good... Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live...
Those eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated.
Right. You were...
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keeper...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to...
Remember? She made a point of denying...
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act...
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village.
Then, why would...
By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me.
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but... How can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that some believe in the Genshin Archon, while others believe in King Deshret.
I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
Speaking of which, the Radicals mentioned that they despise...
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to, and then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared.
You can tell them.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Al-Haytham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, you would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go!
Rack and ruin!
How?
Crush!
I'll take my leave.
I can put these to good use.
Oh, is this the place? Oh, it's in terrible shape. And there's sand. Monsters! Watch out! Oh, it feels like cross over!
To the core! Rack and ruin!
A royal decree! They were easier to deal with than Paimon had, super strong bandits? Or monsters towered? He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look. Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book? What are you reading?
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural... Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya. How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey, Paimon's your Teyvat travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already. And anyway, is that Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated? Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's no...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other I'll ensure your safety.
Beg for mercy. Crush! Good grief!
Let the show begin.
Beg for mercy. More speed. I condemn you! Blood of frost! Eye for an eye! odds of your fate lie.
Look! There's someone over there! Good idea. Let's approach...
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are... Also, why is he the...
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know...
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar, too? Is he the kind that holds up in...
No. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone... Leaving that question aside for the moment, it looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they... There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh! Now that you...
Correct. The Academia... It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale.
First, the Academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret.
These rumors were all the persuasion that the Radicals needed, and those based in Aru Village leapt, as well as being able to exploit their advantage to the Academia.
Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret's death,
Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something.
Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all...
The notion of an Academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with... But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the Academia...
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly...
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could...
Extracted? You mean...
With the technology of the Sumeru Academy, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out.
So, the human brain... Nope.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted, or perhaps his curiosity got the best.
Hyman's a little confused.
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. However, I can't... The Academia is going out of their way. I've spent quite some time trying to analyze...
You mean you're not even slightly interested?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects?
Sounds like you're really against...
Of course. Whether it be academics or knowledge, Everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, this matter needs to be correct.
Wait! Didn't you step in to help because you...
Not to be callous, but no. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru.
Probably not.
You can say that. Simply put, the Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full.
Hyman's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the acad...
Though I must say, I quite enjoy this. Uniqueness is also an...
Wow, that's a great way to think about it.
I'm just a more likable person than her. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after...
We're back!
You must be tired.
What's the situation?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people...
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar hospital served as the academia.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru village. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village.
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our way.
Huh? Are our friends...
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference.
So what you're saying is... Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious...
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can... Simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. If you want to raise a vicious wolf...
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have... Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha day. On this day, I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were...
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions...
The Akasha is capable... The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered.
It predicted my every...
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think. However...
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to... Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless. Sino, don't take it to heart.
They escaped because...
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounce.
There is always an opportunity...
Oh, so that's it. If the Academia is trying to avoid... Yep,
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! Please, wait! I want to go...
You want to go too?
I want to find Grandpa.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Paimon feels like...
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand. Is that because you play here a lot? Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert. But I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll...
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So...
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed... Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been... Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to...
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked.
Wait, what? Grandpa, I hope you're okay. Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be...
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring. But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too? Ugh, of course it is!
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never...
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Dia? Why would you... Dia! Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here.
This complicated...
You've betrayed Aru Village?
So, this is the great Dia. You'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting King De-
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone.
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. Whether...
It's not too late yet. The village keep... Mad scholars aren't gonna bring King Deshret back.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the...
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see with these scholars in our custody will stop...
Ridiculous. Think about it. The academia controls the entirety of... If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the academia.
They look more like pawns of the academia to me. Why would I listen? Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and be...
It's impossible to... Perhaps.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips. But I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you and...
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars. Perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using...
You are the scribe.
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same...
You academia scum.
Not so fast.
I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said? You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the follower...
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia, you need to steel yourself.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not... You crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman?
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
You don't have to go this.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it! Stop!
What's wrong? Can't...
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off... You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friend.
I was really counting on him not going through with it.
That was crazy!
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a...
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed...
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find...
Whatever it takes? You just might...
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. Looks like we have everyone here. Isak?
I'll watch from a safe distance.
Okay,
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No.
They got here.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. You brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Grandpa! Why is there only one?
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his...
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you think? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with...
You stay right there!
Boy, what do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Grandpa! Paimon.
This day's going...
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said. The Dendro Archon.
Grandpa?
Hey, look.
Did there used to be a temple?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, the symbols on the gate belonged to King Deshret's civilization. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King Deshret!
What's he doing here?
They must have fallen down here with us. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict.
He's not...
As it happens,
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power to us.
Paimon thought you weren't in...
Indeed. In my view, new discoveries are always worth...
Raman, what are you gonna do?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take care of his people. Right now...
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked completely dead.
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's
Sir Rama.
What? Huh?
Do you...
Are you mocking me?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to.
Whatever you say.
There's nothing to be angry about.
It does seem kind of strange.
Phantasmagoria.
Let's dance.
Time to scout.
By royal decree.
Beg for mercy. Crush!
I condemn you! Freeze to the core! Rack and ruin!
Eye for an eye.
As you wish, sweet boy life.
you. Time to go! Beg for mercy. More speed.
That's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
Wait, what's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
These are King Deshret runes.
They left something behind.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of—
You can read ancient King Deshret script?
Of course. Every student needs to—
He's not serious.
There's still something off about this place. The scent of life.
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information—
Isn't sharing knowledge against the acad—
Yes. However, you'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
But this doesn't make any sense.
Was that the former Dendro?
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt. You've just witnessed his priest.
I've never... The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our... We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen... How could I ever begin to accept this? The truth...
Raman, give it a rest. You're
Dia, my Eremites and I.
Hey, how you
I'll live. I should probably go.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. But please, give me some time.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is...
When would be a good time for us to...
Tomorrow. I'll convince everyone that... And I'll return every last one of your mad... sorry.
You seem to finally understand.
Yes. The gods never...
That must have been rough.
Raman's no fool. Being the leader of... It's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret. But now that...
The outcome, at least...
We should get going too. Let's head back. Have a proper... Sino, we're leaving!
Stop.
Rahman?
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village.
I guess all I can say now.
Don't mention it. But we share a common cause now.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell.
We've been all over the desert trying.
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No.
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on...
You should have known that I...
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb.
I could.
Please have mercy.
Start talking.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently. Why?
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
I don't...
Well, you better start talking.
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fan.
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yeah. Important and potentially world-changing project. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rook, the withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was...
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he asked them, do you wish to create a god?
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing. After that, they harvested dreams. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's madness for centuries, but to no avail. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Al-Haytham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to...
You must have noticed by now. The Academia it is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars,
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world?
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped. They found that at the time, she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This, not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight. Slowly but surely, people begin.
So...
All right, let's try to keep our cool. Rahman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village.
Sure.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The 2 new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too. Really great work, everyone.
The atmosphere is so heavy. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about?
Or I can go fetch.
Oh! Paimon!
Do you have any plans, Traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it still feels...
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was...
It seems like there'll be more issues to...
Still, now's a good time to make our next move.
It's time to make a
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every...
So, everyone.
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more.
The next time we gather here...
Yep, it'll work out.
Everyone is already waiting.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Please. Wait a before attending the...
What do you...
Promise me that you won't commit to anything too
What do you think?
Okay.
beg for mercy. At least good luck doesn't discriminate by clan.
Everyone's here so early! But why?
We already discussed things a bit.
Hey, where have you been? I've missed you too.
Are you ready?
Very well.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
I gotta admit, it's bold.
It's worth a try.
The point of discussion is to arrive at a solution.
You're making...
You're finally done.
I have some other stuff to take care of. Come on, don't give me that face. I know what you're going...
That's what I wanted to hear. Well, Traveler, Paimon, judging from your expressions, the meeting...
You can tap...
I'm not that good at scheming or strategy, but I can sense people's emotion.
Paimon's a little worried.
To be honest, I feel the same. Your deeds speak.
Candace, we stayed behind to tell you that, although you...
I'm very glad to hear. I've said the same thing to everyone here today as I said to you when you were... Only when you're safe can the plan be successful. You're welcome. And thank you for taking my... Good luck.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'll hit them!
Have you finished saying your goodbyes?
Yeah! Also, can't...
Yes, she did. But I think my point also bears repeat. Our plan is not child's play. We won't be able to achieve... I hope this is clear to you.
Huh? Shouldn't you be saying something?
Didn't we already do that during the meeting?
You can never have enough words of encouragement.
In that case, Candace can cuddle you to your heart's content while I continue to remind you of the seriousness of our situation. We all have our jobs to do, after all. It's like how some people can be put in charge of logistics while others will fight on the front lines.
Speaking of the...
Of course. But the advantage of not... Just think about that mercenary who lost his mind.
Well, being a...
I'm not like the rest of them. Even among members...
This guy.
All intellectuals are lunatics in the eyes of fools. Do you remember the record we saw in the King Deshret ruins? You have a good memory. Forbidden knowledge has the power to drive people insane, but this fact has never been shared with the public. Even I think those mad scholars and mercenaries we encountered, but the academia has always held a different view. They've always believed that, come to think of it, perhaps the academia has also never understood the Withering, Elazar, and the Sandstorms. Don't you think what is happening right now across Sumeru is rather...
But Paimon thought that Irminsul's disease is what caused the... At least, that's what... Wait a second.
Ah, you've connected the dots. The cause of...
But if that's the case, what should...
Wait. Why do you think Lesser Lord Kusanali would have a solution to this situation?
You mean, it's related to the scene you saw when you passed out in the Avidia...
In that case, it's imperative that we rescue Lesser Lord Kusan. To make sure we're still on track, I would like to
Where are we going?
to an Eremite base.